All right, welcome everyone to the deep dive. Look, we all know that feeling, right? After a 0-1 start. Yeah, it's that push for answers. You need to understand exactly what has to happen to get that first W. And I mean, heading to Dallas now, the stakes they feel really high. So today our mission, it's sharp, it's clear. We are diving deep, really deep into this Giants versus Cowboys game coming up. We've got all your sources here, the strategy breakdown, scouting stuff, insider takes you sent over. And we're going to pull out the absolute must-know info. The big question, one we're really trying to answer is, how do the Giants finally beat Dallas? How do they really fundamentally shift this whole narrative? Okay, but let's be real for a second. The history here, it's not pretty. Giants against the Cowboys, especially since 2020, the results just haven't been good. It's been a really tough stretch. And against their quarterback specifically, we haven't gotten a win against him since, 2016. That's a long time. At AT&T Stadium, it's just been a house of horrors for Big Blue mostly. That first win feels like a million miles away sometimes.
It's definitely something fans are thinking about.
And look, that history, while, it's challenging, that's exactly why we need to do this deep dive. We have to get past just looking at old scores. Our mission today, like you said, is to really dig into the strategy, the angles that your sources are pointing out, understanding the how, the exact blueprint, Yeah. That gives us something tangible. It's not just hoping. It's figuring out the specific ways to win that the materials lay out.
Yeah, I like that. Focusing on the how is key.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's start unpacking it then. Cowboys offense versus our Giants defense. This feels like where some big battles are going to happen. Based on those insights, what are the main threats we should be worried about from Dallas?
Well, a really key insight, looking at the analytics you shared, it points right at CeeDee Lamb. I mean, no surprise there, right?
Yeah.
Expect him to get a ton of targets, especially on those routes that attack the middle. Like crossers, running across the field, seems straight up the field between defenders. And those option routes where he kind of reads the coverage and breaks, he's their guy. He's just very good. And then you can't sleep on Jake Ferguson, the tight end. He's actually pretty sneaky effective,
Yeah.
Especially against linebackers, just moving the chains in the middle. And George Pickens on the outside. If we focus too much on Lamb, Pickens can definitely win those one-on-ones downfield. He's shown he can do that.
Okay. Lamb, Ferguson, Pickens. Got it.
So Dallas's game plan, kind of looking at the scouting reports, it seems pretty straightforward. They'll probably use some early runs and that jet motion stuff.
Yeah, where they send Lamb or Turpin across before the snap.
Exactly, to kind of slow down our pass rush, make them hesitate. And that helps them set up the bigger plays, the play action chunk plays downfield to Lamb and Pickens. Fundamentally, they want to work that middle of the field, behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties. That's their comfort zone.
So, it sounds like disrupting that middle area, trying to contain Lamb.
Yeah.
It's huge. But okay, every team has weak spots, right? Your sources pointed out some potential issues on their O-line that our D-line has to attack. What are we seeing there?
Oh, definitely. A big one noted in your files is their left tackle, Tyler Guyton. Week 1 wasn't great for him.
Right. Saw that.
So that immediately flags that edge. That's a spot our rushers need to go after. And then there's the rookie guard, Tyler Booker. He's shown he can be a bit vulnerable, maybe a step slow sometimes. A guy with the quickness of Abdul Carter, maybe, could definitely give him trouble. But here's the other really crucial part, the Dexter Lawrence effect. Dallas knows they have to deal with him. They are almost certainly going to slide protection his way, double team him on a lot of passing downs.
Oh, okay. So Dexter drawing all that attention. It's not just about him making a play. It actually helps everyone else, like a 2-for-1 special.
Exactly right. It's a strategic advantage. When Dex commands 2 blockers, that leaves isolated one-on-ones somewhere else. And that means guys like Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeaux, they have to win those matchups if Dex is taking 2 guys out. That's the opportunity.
Man, that's huge. Dexter is a force multiplier, basically.
Well,
okay, so we know their threats. We see potential weaknesses. Let's flip it, our defense. What's the counterpunch? What's the Giants' game plan, the blueprint for success your sources are outlining?
Right. The front 7 plan is critical. Dexter's main job, like we just said, is eat those doubles. Yeah, compress the pocket from the inside. That just makes life harder for the QB, and that frees up the edge guys. Burns, Carter, Thibodeaux, their job is simple: win fast, especially against Guyton steal on the edges. They also need to mix things up. Maybe some TE stunts, where a DE crashes inside and someone else loops around, or inside slants right at Booker, the rookie guard, keep him guessing. And one key tactic suggested is using simulated pressures. Show 5 guys rushing, but only 4. That can really mess with the QB's head, speed up his clock, force a bad throw.
Okay, pressure packages, stunts, getting creative. What about in coverage? How do we handle Lamb and take away those middle of the field throws?
Yeah, coverage is huge. The big focus has got to be bracketing Lamb on key downs.
Yeah.
So basically putting 2 defenders on him, maybe have like a corner underneath ready to jump any in-breaking routes with safety help over the top.
Gotcha. Safety help is crucial then.
Absolutely. Our safeties, Tyler Nubin and Javon Holland, they need to be sharp, overlapping those windows against seam routes up the hash or those quick glance routes inside. Take away those easy throws Dak loves. The big goal really is to force their QB to throw outside the numbers and make him do it on time. If we make him hold it, make him late with those outside throws, that's when we can punish him.
Punish him.
Yes.
Because that's what we need, turnovers. Getting takeaways against this offense feels like the game changer. What's the recipe? How do we get those interceptions, according to the analysis?
Yeah, the turnover recipe, it's broken down pretty clearly in the defensive reports. It's like a 3-step thing. First, take away his first read,
Right.
which is usually Lamb, right? Make him look elsewhere.
Okay.
Second, nudge him off his spot. Even if you don't get the sack, just move him, make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Yeah.
And third, be ready. Be ready to jump the hot route, that quick short throw he has to make when he feels the pressure, trying to avoid the sack.
So make him uncomfortable, take away his easy button, and then jump the panic throw. I like it. And the end result, hopefully, is tips, overthrows, chances for Adebo, Nubin, Holland to make a play. Man, that would be absolutely massive. Okay, all right, let's switch sides. Our offense, this is where we need to find some rhythm, find ways to attack their defense. What's the scouting report on the Cowboys D? What are their tendencies, and where can we maybe find an edge?
So what's interesting is Dallas has a new DC, Matt Eberflus. And in week 1, he seemed to really lean towards those 2 high safety looks.
Cover 2, cover 4 type stuff.
Exactly. Cover 2, 4, maybe 6, keeping things in front of them, not blitzing a whole lot. Now, they obviously had a huge loss personnel-wise.
Yeah, no kidding.
But Kenny Clark and Osa Odikuzua inside, they are still very, very disruptive guys. Major threats up front.
Okay, so maybe less blitzing, more coverage, but still dangerous inside. Got it. So where do we win? Where are the spots for our offense to make plays based on your sources?
Well, this really gets into how we use our guys against that scheme. The sources suggest we could have some success with edge runs, get outside, and perimeter screens.
Attack the edges.
Yeah, specifically against Dante Fowler and Sam Williams. They've shown they can have some, let's say, contain issues sometimes. And Wandale Robinson, with his quickness, he could really feast on those option routes, those choice routes underneath. Just let him read the defender and find space.
Get Wandale the ball in space, yes.
Definitely. And don't forget Tyrone Tracy Jr. out of the backfield. He can definitely chip in on checkdowns, those little arrow routes to the flat, maybe even some angle routes. And if Darius Slayton's out there, we got to try and take shots. Leverage his speed against, say, Kyir Elam on deep outs, comebacks, and definitely try some double moves to get him open deep.
Okay, attacking the edges, getting Wandale the ball quick. I like that. But let's talk O-line. Need a reality check there.
Yeah.
What's the situation, and how does that affect the play calling?
Yeah, the reality, as the line analysis points out, look, if Andrew Thomas isn't ready to go or isn't 100%, we have to lean on a quick passing game. Got to get the ball out fast to help negate their rush.
Makes sense.
On obvious passing downs, sliding protection towards Kenny Clark is probably a must. And getting a chip block on Osa Odikuzua, you have to account for those guys. One tactical idea that came up is using more 12 personnel. 2 tight ends.
Okay, Bellinger and Theo Johnson.
Right. Bellinger can be huge as a lead blocker or an insert blocker in the run game. And then Theo Johnson, off play action, running up the seam. That could be a really nice weapon.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Block who you need to block, get the ball out quick, use the tight ends. Smart football. Okay, let's really nail this down now. We've gone through the whole strategic breakdown from your sources. Now it's checklist time. The absolute keys to victory. If the Giants do these things, what does that win look like?
Right. This is where we boil down all those critical insights. Number 1, edge domination. Simple as that. Burns, Carter, Thibbs, they have to win their one-on-ones against Guyton Steele consistently. 2, Dex leverage. We talked about it. Even when he's doubled, Dexter Lawrence has to move their cornerback off his spot, make him uncomfortable, create opportunities.
Gotta move him.
3, takeaways. This one's huge. It's almost non-negotiable. You feel me? We need at least a +1 turnover margin. Adebo, Nubin, Holland, they have to cash in when those tip or overthrow chances happen.
Absolutely crucial. What else?
Okay, 4, program touches. Get the ball to the playmakers intentionally. Design touches for Wandale early. Scheme up deep shots for Slayton. And make sure our top receiver is drawing coverage, being that gravity well to open things up. 5, run to the edge, we got to commit to it. Stretch runs, fly sweeps, those GT pulls where the guard and tackle lead outside. Attack Fowler and Williams. Avoid running straight at Clark and Osa.
Smart running, not just banging your head against the wall.
Exactly. And finally, 6, red zone calls. Gotta have specific, effective plays down there. Think sprint outs for the QB, a TE pop pass to Theo Johnson, an RB arrow route for Tyrone Tracy Jr. These are the plays the analysis says can score points when we get close.
Man, that is a solid blueprint. It feels doable. Okay, moment of truth time. Let's get some bold predictions for individual Giants players. What are the sources projecting?
All right, for individual performances, the analysis is projecting Abdul Carter, looking for 1 sack, maybe 2 QB hits, and drawing a holding penalty. Good impact there.
Nice.
For Adebo, the projection is 1 interception, probably coming off one of those tips or overthrows we talked about.
Love it.
Wandale Robinson, they see a big day, 7 or more catches and 60-plus yards after the catch, making people miss.
YAC machine.
And Darius Slayton. The expectation is at least 1 explosive play, 25 yards or more, taking advantage of some off-coverage looks.
Wow, okay. Carter getting pressure, Adebo getting a pick, Wandale dancing, Slayton hitting a deep one. Man, that's the kind of stuff that wins games. Now, the big one, the score prediction. Always makes me nervous. Haha. What are your sources saying? Cowboys 24, Giants 17. Okay. 24-17. So close, right there. It feels like that prediction says we're in the fight, but it also screams that the difference between another frustrating loss and a huge win is maybe one more stop, one more score, like one more red zone TD instead of a field goal, or that one extra takeaway you mentioned. It just highlights how thin the margin is in these games. Proves me wrong, Big Blue. Please prove me wrong. And that, everyone, wraps up our deep dive into this massive Giants versus Cowboys game. You should now have a really solid handle on the strategies, the threats, the opportunities, and most importantly, that blueprint for how our Giants can go down there and get this win, all pulled from the sources you shared.
Yeah. And connecting it all back, it really underscores that it's not just about playing hard, right? It's about executing these specific things we talked about, understanding how to attack them and how to counter them. That's the difference between just hoping and actually having a plan to win.
Exactly. Well said. So here's something to chew on before the game. A final thought for you. If the Giants manage to execute on just one of these maybe overlooked keys we discussed, like what if they consistently win on those edge runs on offense? Or what if they generate one of those early turnovers off of simulated pressure? Just think about how drastically that one thing could shift the whole feel of the game, the momentum, and maybe even the narrative around this team going forward. Something to think about. All right, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive using your material. We really appreciate you tuning in. Let's go Big Blue. We'll catch you next time on the deep dive.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh, definitely.
For the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep. Their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.